There is lots special about the Shiant Isles, depending on what your interest is. For us, it is the seabird. So there's, well, nationally and internationally important numbers of things like puffins and razorbills. There's also good numbers of fulmar and kittiwake and guillemot. Yeah, it's all here and just all crammed together in really dense areas. It's quite a spectacle. Sometimes a year there's up to 250,000 birds here, all in this small area, and they're all here, all living their lives, all going out to find food and coming here to nest. And yeah, it's just noisy, it's just smelly, it's the best smell in the world, and it's utter seabird mayhem, which is just fantastic for people like us who get high off the smell of seabird. There used to be invasive black rats on the Shiants, and a group of 12 or so people spent the winter out here of 2015-2016 and successfully removed all of them. And we're proud of this because black rats are an invasive species and they were predating on the seabirds. So seabirds face lots of hazards and pressures in their lives, and by removing a predator that shouldn't have been here has just relieved one of those pressures, and that's an amazing thing to be able to say that we've achieved here. Taken that pressure off all of these species in at least one place that's really important for them. And I was surprised. I mean, there was a lot on the water, but I was surprised there wasn't more. Yeah.
There's always that risk that rats could return somehow accidentally, just on a vessel that's travelling here with visitors, or bringing sheep ashore, the graziers, that kind of thing. There's always a risk that rats could return, or a shipwreck is a really high risk situation.
It's all biosecurity aware already.
Yeah, well, you know what? But we'll all just head down to the wreck site and then work back. In early November, a fish farm landing craft ran aground at the southern end of House Island here, and that brings with it the risk that there were rats on board that could have then got to the Shiants, reached the Shiants and started colonising the Shiants.
So this is the site of the wreck here. So the wreck was actually, when we arrived on the island here, then the landing craft was submerged with just the sort of the top of it visible on a low tide, just above the water, and it was just basically between the southern end of House Island and that wee skerry off there.
So basically we put in place an incursion response, basically putting out a whole lot of monitoring equipment, so camera traps and bait and traps to basically detect and trap any rats that potentially could have come ashore with that fish farm boat.
Bit of a operation. They never do them big enough sizes for my hand. This is a Rodenticide block, and what we're doing now is we're just doing this final check, and I'm going through the Rodenticide block and I'm looking for teeth marks. If any teeth mark was left, that would be a sign that there's potentially still rodents here, which would obviously be bad news. I'm pleased to say that this block is in really good condition and there are no signs of rodent teeth marks, so we're all happy about that. Very happy indeed. Just pre-drilling some wax surveillance blocks. So these is just candle wax that we melt down and flavour. These ones are flavoured with chocolate and they can be left out in the environment as non-toxic, and if there were any rats that got back to the islands, hopefully they'd come and gnaw, and then we would, we go back around and we check them out and we look for teeth marks. Along the shore. Actually, this is probably the best office in the world. Welcome to the office.
Exactly what we're looking for and the best outcome. We've done an intensive sort of encouragement response. We've had no sign of rats. We've checked all our sort of permanent biosecurity stations across the whole island. For a lot of us who are concerned about what's happening in the environment, the decline in biodiversity, climate change, sometimes you can feel helpless. This is something tangible. We can remove invasive species where they're present. And so it's this tangible thing that we can do that we know that will help at a time when there's so many other pressures, which are difficult, which require this sort of huge combined global effort to tackle. And that can often be just difficult to navigate. This is tangible.
A lot of conservation is about the real long-term impact, and this is about the long-term impact, the long-term safety of seabirds, hopefully to see increase in population and breeding success and all of that. But the actual thing you're doing, you actually see success quite quickly, and yeah, that's motivation. That's all the motivation you need.